You know, HOA fees, it's not a sexy video. But if you are a serious buyer, it's something that is important to understand. If you have a fun way to describe HOA fees, please comment below. I am all ears. Life is short. Buy the beach house. Live the dream. Aloha, I'm Annie Elison, and Miss Michelle recently asked, why are HOA fees so high? And honestly, it's a great question, so I wanted to get into it. So if you're watching this video and you're interested in Kauai real estate, please like and subscribe below. In a lot of markets on the mainland, HOA fees are, $150, $200, but they're often under $300. And on Kauai, we have much higher HOA fees. I like to tell clients if it's under $1,000, it's on the low side. And if it's over $2,000 a month, it's on the high side, especially for oceanfront properties, which tend to skew higher, right? So why is it that HOA fees are so high? The physical environment on Kauai is hard on everything. When I moved here, a mechanic said to me, go buy a nail, put it on your windowsill, and just watch it rust. And remember, that's happening to your car, right? And you can see things deteriorate right before your eyes. So it's vitally important if you're buying real estate on Kauai, especially in a community, that things are properly maintained so that you don't get overwhelming maintenance jobs that are much more expensive than if it's just managed on a regular basis. The responsibility in a condo community is, generally speaking, your HOA CC&Rs are going to say that they are responsible for the structural integrity of a building. So what does an association need to do to maintain that? Quite a few things. Now, these are generalities, but they are about 95% of the time accurate. They have to do all exterior maintenance. They're going to need to maintain the roof, any kind of paint or wood rot repair, and pest control. So like termites, it's very common that a condo complex will just tent the buildings every 5 to 7 years on a routine basis. It's also common that they'll come in to the condo about twice a year and do termite checks and even make sure you have a working fire extinguisher. These are normal things. Poipu Shores on the south side, part of their regular maintenance is they monitor and replace water heaters because they had too many people who weren't on top of their water heaters. They'd leak and then it affects the condo beneath them. So the HOA just said, we're not going to do this anymore. We're going to monitor them. We're going to replace them on a regular basis, and that will never happen again. And they've been successful at preventing that. All of this maintenance, it's ongoing, right? Kauai is not only beautiful, but it boasts to have the wettest spot on the planet. We have lots of rain, and we're surrounded by a sea of salt water. All of these things come into play when you're talking about physically maintaining anything. Landscaping, you've heard me say before that the jungle is always trying to take over. In a yard of it on Kauai versus a yard on the mainland, of course, it depends on a lot, but we're probably producing 3 to 5 times more green waste than a typical yard on the mainland. I've heard people say that they can hear the grass growing as they sleep, right? It just never stops. So you're going to have, on top of building maintenance, you're going to have landscaping maintenance. Almost everything grows here and it's extremely beautiful, but you do have to maintain it, keep everything cut back from the buildings, and make sure that you're hauling the green waste away. HOAs also have to maintain parking lots. Repaving a parking lot is not inexpensive, and when it's one of the wettest spots on the planet, getting a lot of rain creates more maintenance. Your HOA fees include almost all of your utilities, right? Water, sewage, garbage. About 50% of the time it includes your Wi-Fi and cable, and about 50% of the time it doesn't. Per law in the state of Hawaii, you have to pay for your electrical separately. But other than your electrical, it's common that all of your other utilities will be covered by your HOA fee, including the bulk of your insurance. Since the HOA is responsible for maintaining the structural integrity of the property, they carry a large insurance policy to protect you from things like hurricanes, termites, and everything else that could damage or disturb the property in any kind of significant way. Now, you would still have condo insurance, which is insurance basically from the drywall in, but the bulk of your insurance is paid for by your HOA fee. And on top of all of this, it's super common that HOAs will have a part-time on-site maintenance manager. Now, this has nothing to do with managing rentals. This is a person that just manages the maintenance of the complex, keeping the termite inspections on schedule, or the maintenance of fire extinguishers, or making sure the landscaping people are showing up and doing their job, right? Their job is to work with and coordinate all the other people working on the property. Your HOA fee also pays for some amenities. Now, a typical amenity on Kauai is a pool and probably a hot tub or a spa. On top of that, maybe 20-30% of condos will have a tennis court. Some will have a community garden. In Poipukai, they have walking paths that connect all the different condo communities with Poipu Beach. In Princeville, there are 2 communities that have walking paths down to a beach, Sea Lodge and Palikekua. They maintain those paths. The plantation at Princeville has a small gym. Pili Mai on the south side also has a small gym. So all the complexes are a little bit different, and they have a few different amenities. Almost all of them have a pool. And your HOA fees are going towards paying for the maintenance of that pool and any other amenities that the complex offers. Often when someone is buying remotely, even if they can afford something much more expensive, they like the idea that it's someone else's job to manage the maintenance of the building. It is super normal that people are not excited about paying HOA fees. But honestly, with the list of items I've given you that they maintain, these are all things that you would be paying for. Because you get to pay for them in a group, they do have greater negotiating power, and you might be paying even more if you were doing it individually. So if you've ever heard your father or some other caring person say HOA fees are the worst, of course, they're not fun, but there is a purpose for them. They do go to maintain the property and to provide amenities. So if you've learned something about HOAs or HOA fees on Kauai, please hit the like and subscribe button below.